Working with nature elements is one of the favorite approaches in the outdoor trainer work because it's so natural and we can take so many wonderful features, qualities, benefits from the nature elements.
The river is flowing, flowing and growing. The river is flowing down to the sea.
I decided to set up Medina Foundation. It was in 2015.
The river is flowing down to the sea.
Me and my colleagues, trainers, therapists, psychotherapists, trainers of non-formal education, we explore and we are searching for effective ways of to empower people by the means of nature and exploring this amazing potential that as well allows people to grow their wings, to develop their potential, to empower them, to make them stronger, more sensitive, more open to the world and to their gifts, talents. And we all do it in connection with the nature. The COVID situation showed us how important it is to be in the nature and what is happening with the people when we are just closed down like in a cage. They start to suffer serious disorders like chronic anxiety, like stress, like other psychological disorders that really introduce a great imbalance in our body, mind, spirit, and the heart. We, as a group of trainers that are fond of nature and outdoor education, we decided to implement the project EuroHike, Youth Empowerment through Sport and Nature, and invite to the project young youth trainers from Poland, Latvia, Portugal and Spain, from 4 organizations. So we spent 1 week in Cantabria and 1 week in Madeira Island all together, walking every day in the mountains, on the hikes, but not only in the mountains. We used all very particular surroundings in these locations.
Sound walking or sound journey or sensory walking is a practice which can provoke deep listening. It's a very sensory experience with smells, touch, shapes, colors and the sounds, of course, which can open you to the surroundings, let's say. First, I invite you to internal observation, to contact with your body. You can stay or sit here or like this, wherever you feel comfortable. So it's the first time for a few minutes just to reconnect with yourself, your body. In the second part of this experience, you can open yourself to the external observation. And during this experience, you can take the notebook and a pen and just somehow notice or visualize what is your experience. Yeah, you can use metaphors, symbols, pictures, images. You can use your metaphorical way of
feelings and just picture or just visualize this.
Thank you, Anna, for your workshop. It was a surprise for me. So 5 minutes, and you from a bit forest, wood, trees. Wow, ferns, birds.
Then we are meet together in a circle and just share the experience, and volunteers can show the pictures, these pages of their notebooks.
Yeah, you can find the piece of home everywhere, because everywhere is home.
When I opened my eyes, I was totally in nature, and I couldn't realize anything else, even voices. Yeah. So very nice experience for me, how to concentrate.
The wind dance, the practice that invite people to in a windy place, in peninsula, in an open, very open place to the ocean, exposed to the wind, sun. People were dancing to the rhythm and to the feeling of the wind. Experimenting and observing what is happening with their feelings, what kind of qualities they let inside, how they feel the wind on their body, how they are looking for the wind, how they feel very subtle, and what the wind gives them. And later on, we shared in a circle our impressions, and that started with the word, for me, the wind is.
It's very strong, because I feel the wind in my heart. So for me, this is a very creative experience, because now I'm full of energy.
The wind, I feel freedom. I let myself to be free.
Yeah, wind for me is freedom, and it's really helped me learn to relax, because in the sky you need to be relaxed, not to die. Yeah.
Let it go.
So by the means of this exercise, by the means of nature elements, we can, as well as the trainers, let people these qualities that I mentioned to enter their body, mind, spirit, and somehow cure themselves, to take from the nature what they need in this moment. If someone is in need of freedom, is going into freedom, that wind opens. If someone needs inspiration and creativity in life, this person will reach for this quality from the wind. So I like very, very much work with the nature elements, because it's so natural and people can always take whatever they need in this moment of their life. The idea is that we can take from the landscape, we can find in the nature, in the sceneries, actually the things to feed us as well. So the exercise that employs the notion of the inner landscape and the outer landscape. So simply speaking, when we walk in the nature and we observe some sceneries, landscapes, and we stay in touch, we are in connection with these landscapes. Those landscapes and sceneries can tell us a lot about our situation in life, about the conditions that we are in now. And they can bring a lot of reflection about what happened in our life, how I go through some difficulties, what I need now as well. This approach opens a kind of dialogue between our inner landscape, our psychological situation in this moment, and outer outside landscape that can give us a lot of like benefits and input, and we can as well take those qualities that we see outside, or just understand something, how we function in our life. So this approach enables a lot of insights for the participants. It's very, very fruitful and rich in the conclusions. And water, it's about being emotional, allowing ourselves to feel, and as well to release, to let go the things that we don't need anymore in our life, to create a space. Where we were walking in the mountains and going through 25 waterfalls. Generally that day was devoted to the water element. So first I invited participants to stay really close, in close connection with the nature, not to talk. It was a kind of solo walk, solo adventure, and through the senses like smell, listening, hearing, touching, participants were connecting with the different elements in nature, with the flowers, with the trees, with the earth, with the ground, with the stones, with the water. This brought a kind of feeling of being in touch, in connection with our inner self. And this is the beginning of, like for me, of all the exercises in the nature. Because if we are in touch with our inner self and the nature as well, we allow the nature to give us this amazing energy and the power of nature, the consciousness maybe, I don't know how to name it, but we connect with this power of nature. During the 25 waterfall path or trek, I enhance participants to stay close to the waterfall and meditate a bit, or just sit and be with the water, which was falling down from high level, and let go things that participants don't want to carry in their life anymore, to release, to let the water to clean my mind, my heart, my spirit, my body, so we could be prepared for new things in our life. It was a kind of like, let's say, ritual of purification, and we immediately felt really good and fresh, with open heart, open mind, and it was the preparation for the next ritual, as well, using the waterfall.
The name of the exercise is blessing, and the goal is just to open yourself for new. And water is, especially water is very, it's quite common use in many different cultures for the important moments in your life. And water, last time I was watching a movie about Vikings. There was a motive when they use water to bless themselves, to empower themselves for the fight. Before fighting, they use water just to empower themselves to win. And I use this motive for the exercise. I ask people just to think about your intention, about your new opening, what you want to achieve in your future life, what you want to change, what you really miss, what you dream about. And with this intention, they were asked to enter into the water, just to take power from water to do it.
River is flowing,
was quite chilly day and cold water, so it was not like a nice exercise, comfortable, just very relaxed. It was something connected just to breaking your comfort, just to force a little bit yourself to the new, but also to get support. And this support also they could get from the group, because that time group was singing all the time and holding energy and supporting participants while doing this process. I think the advantage of this exercise is that it helps people to experience the moment they take a risk. They do something which is uncomfortable in the intention to get something which they really want to get. While the process is in progress, they really feel support of a group, of other people. They feel that they are not alone.
Intensive, quite fast, boosting our energy.
So the exercise I had to offer today was the power breath. And the goal of this exercise, as the name shows, is to boost our power or to boost our energy.
Stretch your body.
So this practice consists of 3 parts. The first part would be intensive breathing, and we breathe through nose, intake and outtake through nose. We do 30 intensive breaths, during which we load our body with energy, we load our body with oxygen.
And then after the 30th breath, there's the second part. You take the out breath, so it's... and you stop breathing. For 1 minute. Yeah?
And when you cannot hold it anymore, you come to the third part. So the third part, you take intensive in breath and you stay there for like half a minute.
You can move your body a bit to relax it even more. If you cannot hold anymore, just take the in breath and stay there for half a minute.
And after this half a minute, you relax, you let the breath go, and you focus on your bodily sensations, what's happening in you. You are focusing on the energy in your body, and you are just experiencing it.
Boost your energy. The more intensive we breathe in the first part, the longer we can stay in the second part. So in the first part we are, boosting our energy. In the second part, when we are not breathing, the energy is, distributed throughout the body. So the longer we stay, the better we feel afterwards.
So on the physical level, it gives us more energy, and also on the emotional level or intellectual level, it gives us more clarity in our head. It gives us more peace in our emotions, and it gives us more inner tranquility, I would say.
For me, it is like really difficult not to breathe like 1 minute, and before that to breathe really hard. I thought I will be dizzy totally, and for me it's like a bit of challenging. And I made it, and after I feel like, whew, I'm ready to go to the mountain.
This exercise is called A Leader of My Dreams, and the goal is to discover our talents and skills as a leader. And this exercise based on symbolic and archetype. The first part. From all these elements of nature in Madeira, choose the one which represents your talents as a leader of your own life. So, your talents, your skills, your abilities, your value, your beliefs, and strong side of you. So think about these elements of nature, for example, sun, clouds, misty, fog, ground, ocean, water, waterfall, tree, grass, stone, mountains, everything in Madeira. And then you find it, share to the group of your reflection, and when you finish, your group give you a feedback.
My leader element is wind, because wind is like pushing you to go forward, and sometimes it can also like stop you from moving because maybe you need time to just rest.
My talent is the earth, because I can take the inspiration from the wind and make it happen from the earth, make it realistic, and I think I'm quite fertile in this sense.
And my element is sun, because sometimes it can be warm, sometimes it can burn, and it doesn't have to shine all the time.
The gates or the arch in the cliff where the water is going through, because I don't think that I lead my life. It happens through me, around me, but I don't lead it. I'm just there and it passes through.
My talent is the mountains. The mountains is strong, give you the support. I pass some earthquakes and I still standing. And when you respect mountains give you the shelter, protects you. If you don't respect the mountains, they threw you away to protect you. And I'm the scorpion as well. So
my talent is the fog and the water, because in the middle of the confusion and the mess, I will find a way again to the sun and to the blue sky.
My element is a stone, because stone is hard, and it reminds me this sensation, never give up. So
The name of the exercise is the path of your life, and the aim of this exercise is just to find which way you try to reach your goals in your life. How you climb the mountains, which way? I mean that you can climb different way with the effort which is adequate to the situation, or if you put it like this, how your body is organized to do it. Steps, your feet always are working. But what about the whole body? Is the body flexible? Is the body try to adapt to the situation, to the movement, and maybe is still, stiffened, like, fixed? Which means that these feet, they have big burden just to race to the peak of a mountains, which costs lots of effort. If you find some connection between the way you reach the top of these mountains with the way how you reach the goals in your life. And maybe body is very flexible, maybe try to adapt to the situation, maybe try to reduce effort, which is really important, which is needed to raise the body up. Also, it's interesting what you are aware of during the process. If you really are focused on your body, on the process, or maybe you are focused on the peak, on a goal, you want just to get there, that's it. You don't care about the price you have to pay to reach a goal. It's also possible. And the aim of this this exercise help us to understand how we perform in our life, because of course the way we move reflects the way we behave in our everyday life.
He took the map and he drew the straight line from his house, like on the map, from his house for like, I don't know, for 15 kilometers. And his goal was to walk exactly as the line went. Because usually we use the paths, we use the ways, we see where we can walk. But he walked just straight. So if on his way there was the house of some people, he just entered and asked if he could pass by. If they were like, it doesn't matter what kind of obstacles were there, so he was trying to still to keep this straight line he drew. And actually his conclusion was, he also was doing kind of journal about it. His conclusion was that actually it's really hard. It's really hard if you don't use this, what people are creating, like they are modifying environment. It's really hard actually to walk straight and to be free in a way. How can you walk your walks, what you can introduce in the hikes? And the idea comes from Richard Long, who is the pioneer of the land art. He was the one who was introducing the idea that you can use nature and environment as canva for art and for artistic performances. So what I suggested the people before we started the long walk along Lorana is to I provided some examples about Richard's long work. One of his projects was he was walking for 1 hour and he was taking notes of the objects or elements he saw around, and then he created it in like all the words just in the shape of clock circle, and every word went like this, like a watch. It could be found on the internet, so it's easy. And to think what kind of art project, let's say, they could introduce within the walk we made. So it could be working with natural elements, it could be working with your body being in the nature and trying to express yourself artistically. You can think and maybe you can try out something to do already here, like the thing with the stones, when you're maybe not the same. Maybe you'll come up with some ideas. You see, you want to try as your kind of artistic project during this walk. Afterwards, when we discussed it, how was it? Was it hard? Was it easy to find this artistic approach to your walks? So some people really felt inspired and already try some things on the spot, and some people still are thinking for things for later on. We just can share in how was it, and if you make something, if you managed to make something, or if you created some idea, or you think it's boring and you don't want, that's also fine. So that was the intention and the idea for this hike for me. So be inspired, look around, good luck. So we introduced one of the version of the so-called blind walk. This time we asked the whole group, so the whole group walked with their eyes closed, holding hands, and the group was led by the person who could see.
The idea was to take a narrow pathway through a bit of the grass and along the bushes and on this rocky pathway, and not very long one, literally for like 7-10 minutes, and then the whole group gets to the point where the beautiful view towards the ocean is there in front of our eyes. And once on that viewpoint, we ask group to open the eyes and to see this perfect view. The idea is, during the walk, the idea is to a bit turn off the sight, the sense of sight, which is the strongest and we use it the most, and to try to rely on the other feelings, like feeling of each other and balancing and supporting each other, feeling like with senses of your hear, like what you hear, what you can feel with your skin, with your legs, if grass is touching, and your arms, if your arm is free, and if you touch some environment, and try to follow the way blindly, and then to have one moment in the very end.
There was no other way but to let go control. And this feeling of letting go control is something that I really want to reach in my life, because I think that I control too many things. And it was just this moment, this very intense feeling of letting go the control.
Feel how the other senses are turning on like that, like the way you, for example, the way I was feeling. I was trying to feel the way not only with my feet, but also with this part of legs. Then you try to touch the grass, and also of course the hearing, and of course the how to say, skin feeling, because when we went up you started to feel wind, and it just was interesting. I like just to observe how it changes, and how our sight is overused daily, so it's nice.
I feel totally comfortable in such activities, and with trust, relax, and it's amazing that how I can lose control in such activities. But what's the challenge for me, how to transform or transfer this experience into my life.
I strongly recommend to get familiar with our findings, with the methods, exercise, approaches that we were experimenting on our tracks. And you can find this publication as well as the articles from the participants with impressions on our website, which is like www.medina.pl. And if someone is interested in cooperation with our group of trainers on the international field, if you really are nature freak and fond of this outdoor non-formal education, get in touch with us, and let's do it together. Thank you.